semester, the online classes, I don't think you'll need the textbook, which is good. So again, if you've already purchased it, great, but you don't have to rush out of your home and buy the textbook immediately. And just to recap, typically students, I reserve Mondays for high English vocabulary and Wednesday and Fridays for textbook and free conversation. So what I want to do today is start introducing our high English vocabulary. You will see this on the midterm. Students, this is Professor's lecture notes, and I'm going to post this on eClass. So if you don't have it already, what I want you to do is please press pause and print this out before you continue watching. Students' note will be basically the same, a little smaller, just so you're not printing so many pages. I've compressed it to just one page, front and back. Whenever you do print it, please take a moment. This is not mandatory, but kind of my style. I want you to highlight all the words on the paper, like so. Again, not mandatory, just friendly advice, kind of my style. So if you have a yellow highlighter, please highlight all the words. Also, minor issue, at the top of your paper, please write week 1 and the next video, week 2, and so on and so forth. So students, these lecture notes, typically I will give students the part of speech, noun, verb, adjective, a brief definition, and a couple of examples. As a bonus, I try my best to find the Korean translation. Now, I do this to help you, but I must be frank, it's very scary to me. My Korean is not so good, and I've long been afraid that I will accidentally write the wrong translation for our vocabulary. So please do not become too dependent on me searching for the Korean translation. I don't want you to be angry with me after the midterm or a final and say, Professor, you said Jojim. I do my best, but I'm never 100% sure if I have included the correct translation. So please do double check me. Also, one more thing about translation. If the translation is awkward or it doesn't match the definition I have given, please don't be shy to correct me, whether in class or in email. Just say, Professor, I think the word you're thinking of is blah, blah, blah. I value your feedback, and students can help me make a better lecture next semester. So again, if the translation is strange, I would be very grateful for your help. Help me make a better lecture. Okay, anyway guys, let's get started. Hopefully, whoops, hit the camera. Hopefully you've already printed out your word list for the first week. If you haven't, again, go ahead and print that out and we'll get started. The first word I want to mention, I really like it. It's harbinger. Students, this is a little strange for me. Normally I'm in a classroom, and what I want you to do is repeat after me. I forgot to mention this, but I find it really helpful to listen to these kind of lectures on headphones. If you have earbuds, that's fine, but it really is important that you can hear me well. Incidentally, if the video is not clear or you're having trouble hearing me, please do let me know so I can try to make a better lecture in the future. So just friendly tip, not mandatory. You don't have to go out and buy headphones, but I think you'll be able to benefit more with headphones. Okay. Well, let's get started. Even though I'm not in the room with you, I do want you to repeat after me, and not just mumble. So please repeat after me. This first word, it's a noun. Together, please. Can you hear the siren? My windows are open. Together. Harbinger. Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. One more time, please. Harbinger. Good. Again. Harbinger. Harbinger. Good. Students, a harbinger is, and you'll have this on your notes, so a person or thing that announces or signals the approach of something else. I have on your notes, forerunner. For example, thunder. Thunder in the distance is a harbinger of a rainstorm. It's a sign. So whenever I hear thunder, that is a harbinger that the weather will soon change. It's going to rain soon. Again, I'll say it once more. Thunder, the sound of thunder, thunder rumbling in the distance, is a harbinger that it might soon rain. Yes. Again, students, I'm just looking at the examples on your paper. Your notes are the same as mine. I just have a larger font here so I can read it more easily. A sore throat. A sore throat is a harbinger of a more serious illness, for example, common cold. Sometimes you get a sore throat, you still feel okay, but whenever I hate sore throats, but whenever I get a sore throat, I'm like, uh-oh, I hope I'm not getting sick. A sore throat is a sign or harbinger that maybe a more serious illness is approaching. Can you think of any harbingers? Maybe, well, just on the subject of illness, a fever. Hopefully not the virus, but a fever could be a harbinger that, you're getting sick. I have another one on another example. I don't know what this is called in Korean, but when a woman is pregnant, 9 months pregnant, and her water breaks, this is a harbinger that her baby will soon arrive. I wrote a synonym on your notes, students. You see that? Precursor. Something that occurs just before. Incidentally, sometimes, not always, I'll write some synonyms on your lecture notes. Please do not write synonyms on the midterm, or final. The only words I want to see are the High English vocabulary, so no synonyms on the test. I'll mark it wrong automatically. Okay, so that's harbinger. In Korean, I think it's jojim. Students, I expect you probably already know this word. Typically, I like to include some visual aids here. This first one, take a look. Do you guys know these flowers? They're called daffodils. They are a harbinger of what? Spring. Yeah. These are not the only harbingers, but whenever you see daffodils or some other mm, uh, cool weather, flowers, early spring blooms. That's a sign or harbinger that spring is not too far away. Can you think of any harbingers? Budgoat or cherry blossoms. Very beautiful. They are, I learned this from my students. Students have told me that cherry blossoms are a harbinger of midterms. Yes. So whenever I see whenever I see cherry blossoms, I know our midterm exams are fast approaching. What's the word? I want you to know it, guys. Harbinger. Again, harbinger. It's a noun. It means a sign or signal, something that announces the approach of something else. All right, moving on. This next one, truncate. Take a look. What is it? It's a giraffe. No, it's an elephant. Once more. Just remember this. Truncate. To truncate something, it means to shorten. In my own brain, that's all it means. On your lecture notes, students, I write a more technical definition, but just in my own brain. And by the way, you don't have to memorize the definitions. So to shorten something by cutting off the top or the end, to shorten something by cutting off the top or the end, that's just a waste of time. It's better just to have an understanding of the word. You do not have to memorize the definitions. Anyway, in brief, students, truncate, it means to shorten. Something by cutting off the top or the end. I wrote an example on your notes here. A family emergency forced us to truncate our summer vacation. What does that mean? A family emergency forced us to truncate our summer vacation. So maybe a family member got sick and we had to shorten. Yeah, we had to shorten our trip and go back and take care of the family member or whatever it might be. In Korean, this is going to be hard. Help me, guys. Gililol Julida. Gililol Julida. Is my pronunciation okay? So. Hopefully you have already printed this and you're following along with me. Students, what is truncate? To shorten, that's it. To shorten something. Either shortening at the beginning or the end. In this case, a holiday. All right, moving on. By the way, truncate is a verb, so some kind of action. This next one is really easy. Are you following along? This next one, it's a noun. Together, please. Sleuth. Good. One more time. Sleuth. Good. Again. Sleuth. Now, whenever I think of sleuth, the first thing that comes to my mind, yes, Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is a very famous detective or sleuth. Students, do you like Benedict Cumberbatch? I do.